This is where powerful corporations finally pay for what they've done. A new case every week. Imagine buying a tractor for $500,000. It breaks down in the middle of harvest season. You call a mechanic, but he can't fix it. You call your neighbor, but he can't fix it either. The only person legally allowed to fix your tractor is a John Deere authorized dealer who charges you $150 an hour and can't come for 3 weeks. Your crops are rotting in the field, and John Deere is counting the money. This happened to thousands of American farmers for decades, until July 8, 2026, when the farmers finally won. John Deere was founded in 1837 by a blacksmith named John Deere. He invented a steel plow that could cut through the tough Midwest soil. Farmers loved it. Over the next century, Deere became the most trusted name in agriculture. Green tractors, yellow wheels, a deer on the logo. Every farmer knew the brand. Every farmer trusted it. By 2024, John Deere was worth over $50 billion, the most powerful agricultural equipment company on the planet. But somewhere along the way, John Deere stopped serving farmers and started trapping them. Let me paint you a picture of what this actually looked like in real life. A farmer in Nebraska wakes up at 5 a.m. during harvest season. His John Deere tractor throws an error code. He calls his neighbor, a mechanic with 30 years of experience. The mechanic looks at the tractor. He knows exactly what the problem is, but he cannot fix it because John Deere's software locks him out. He cannot even run a diagnostic. The farmer calls the nearest John Deere dealer. They can come in 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, the dealer shows up, runs a diagnostic in 20 minutes, and charges $800 for the visit. The actual repair takes 1 hour. Total bill, over $2,000. For a problem that the farmer's neighbor could have fixed for $200. This wasn't a one-time story. This happened to thousands of farmers across America every single year. And John Deere knew it, because it was designed this way. Here's what John Deere did. As tractors became more sophisticated, they filled them with complex software and electronics. Software that only John Deere could access. If a sensor failed, a farmer couldn't diagnose it himself. If the engine threw an error code, an independent mechanic couldn't read it. Deere made the only software repair tools capable of performing all electronic repairs on Deere equipment, and made those tools available only to its authorized dealers. So if your $500,000 tractor broke down, you had exactly one option: pay a John Deere authorized dealer at John Deere prices on John Deere's timeline. The FTC described it plainly. John Deere used unlawful practices to drive up equipment repair costs for farmers, while depriving them of the ability to make timely repairs. In other words, John Deere held farmers hostage, and they did it for decades. If you made it this far, you already know this channel is for you. Hit subscribe so you never miss a story. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. Because the repair monopoly wasn't an accident. It was a business strategy, and the numbers tell the whole story. Independent repair shops estimated that John Deere's repair monopoly cost American farmers an average of $4,000 extra per year, per farm. For a small family farm already operating on thin margins, that's the difference between profit and loss. Some farmers reported waiting 3 weeks for an authorized dealer to show up during peak harvest season. 3 weeks, while their crops rotted in the field. In Iowa alone, farmers calculated they lost over $1 billion in potential revenue over a decade, directly because of John Deere's repair restrictions. While farmers waited weeks for repairs, John Deere's authorized dealer network made billions. Independent mechanics who had served farming communities for generations were pushed out of business. Farmers in rural areas, where the nearest authorized dealer might be 100 miles away, had no choice but to wait and pay and wait some more. And this wasn't just an American problem. Farmers in Australia, Canada, and across Europe faced the exact same restrictions. In the European Union, right to repair legislation was already moving forward, partly because of cases like John Deere. The European Union's Right to Repair Directive, passed in 2024, forced manufacturers across industries to provide repair access to consumers. John Deere was watching, and they knew what was coming. Meanwhile, John Deere lobbied aggressively against right to repair laws in state after state. When Colorado passed a right to repair law for farm equipment in 2023, John Deere fought it. When Minnesota tried to close loopholes in their repair laws, John Deere fought that too. For years, John Deere's message to farmers was simple: your tractor, our rules. But the farmers weren't giving up. For more than a decade, farmers' unions, repair advocates, and consumer groups fought back. They filed complaints. They lobbied Congress. They went to the FTC. And slowly, the pressure was building. On January 15, 2025, the FTC finally sued John Deere, accusing the company of amassing monopoly power over farm equipment repairs. 5 states joined the lawsuit: Arizona, Illinois, Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. John Deere said the claims were baseless. They were wrong. The legal battle that followed was historic. The FTC's complaint was 50 pages long. It documented case after case of farmers being stranded during critical harvest windows. It documented how independent repair shops, some of them serving farming communities for 40 years, were being systematically driven out of business. It documented how John Deere's repair monopoly had created a 2-tier system. Large corporate farms that could afford John Deere's prices got their equipment fixed quickly. Small family farms that couldn't afford it waited and waited, and sometimes lost everything. Senator Jon Tester, a farmer himself, had been pushing for right to repair legislation for years. He called John Deere's practices nothing short of highway robbery. And when the FTC finally filed its lawsuit in January 2025, farmers across America celebrated. For the first time in decades, someone with real power was listening. On July 8, 2026, John Deere settled. Under the settlement, John Deere must provide farmers and independent repair providers with the same equipment repair resources, including all diagnostic software that it currently provides to authorized Deere dealers, for the next 10 years, under FTC supervision. John Deere also paid $1 million to cover the state's legal costs. The FTC voted unanimously to approve the settlement. The director of the FTC's Bureau of Competition said, "Today's settlement enables farmers to do what they've done for generations, fix their own tractors and other farm equipment without having to pay an authorized John Deere dealer to do it for them." After more than a decade of fighting, the farmers won. But here's the twist. Not everyone is fully celebrating, because John Deere has made promises before. In 2023, John Deere signed a memorandum of understanding with the American Farm Bureau, promising to improve repair access. That memorandum had no enforcement mechanism. It was largely ignored. Willie Cade from repair.org said it best. After years of fighting for the right to repair, this order gives farmers real hope. But promises on paper must become tools in farmers' hands. This time is different, because this time the FTC is watching. For 10 years, with compliance reports required. And if John Deere violates the agreement, the monitoring period gets extended. John Deere built a $50 billion empire on the backs of farmers. Then, they locked those same farmers out of their own equipment. They lobbied against repair laws. They fought every attempt to restore farmers' basic rights, and for decades, they got away with it. Until the FTC stepped in. Until 5 states joined the fight, until the farmers refused to give up. John Deere is finally getting what they deserve, and this time, the farmers get to fix their own tractors. If this video made you angry, good. That anger means you're paying attention. Hit the like button, leave a comment, share this with one farmer, or anyone who believes corporations shouldn't be able to trap people like this. It costs you nothing. But for a small channel like ours, every single interaction tells YouTube this story matters and helps us reach the people who need to hear it. We don't have a massive budget. We don't have a team of hundreds. What we have is you. And next week, we're covering a company that did something even more outrageous than this. Hit subscribe and turn on the bell, because you do not want to miss that one.